I thought leaving the starting area in Swordhaven would be easy. I was wrong. Within minutes I got captured by slave catchers. Every escape attempt failed, and when I finally got out, the swamp tried to kill me. Over and over and over again, this is the most brutal introduction to a game I have ever experienced. Clamreach, a peaceful fishing village, and our home up until now. The first place we stepped foot when we got off the boat, and our introduction to the game. But we're about to leave all that behind. We've cleared out every nook and cranny of Clamreach. We've found all the loot, fought all the monsters, and done all the quests. It's about time we move on. I'm sure we're ready, right? I'd just left Clamreach when I came across this. A group of guys, and they just kept coming. And they weren't here to congratulate me on completing the first section of the game. They had a much more sinister objective in mind. They accused me of being a runaway slave and demanded I come back to their slave camp. I tried to resist, but that didn't end too well. I woke up in an open-air prison, surrounded by my fellow unfortunates. The camp was well guarded, and there was no easy way out. After talking to some of the other prisoners, I found that one of them had a key for sale, which I bought, and another one knew the entire layout of the camp. With this information, I had to try and make my escape. When I opened the back gate, I found one of the slavers asleep. Perfect. My lucky day. I stole his empty bottles. He won't be needing them, and I could use them to make potions. When I was about to round the corner, a cutscene played, showing me the general layout of the camp, as well as the locations of a few items I might need. A shovel for digging an escape tunnel, as well as the entrance to the shed our equipment was stored in. Now all I had to do was sneak around all these guards and get to it. Easy. Things were going pretty smoothly, and we got to the shed on our first try. Got our equipment and suited up. Now it's time to get out. We managed to sneak in without a hitch, so I'm sure getting out would be just as easy. It was mainly about luck, and I didn't have it. Both of the guards that were in front of me turned around at the same time, and I had nowhere to hide. With the guards alerted, 6 bandits started making their way towards me. 6v2. Not great odds, but I'd done the starting area, so maybe I could handle it. Plus, my new companion was some kind of kung fu master, so I put him to work, keeping the enemy at bay on one side, while I focused on the other. I put my knife to work, digging into the kidneys of the first enemy that came to me. But even with kung fu and Croydon no jutsu, things weren't looking good for our group. We were quickly overwhelmed by numbers, and even with more fancy moves from our companion, it just wasn't enough. There were too many of them, and it wasn't going to end well. Even though we could see the writing on the wall, we fought with our every last breath, stabbing away at our captors, trying to take at least one with us. But it just wasn't going well, and our friend died. Shortly after, so did I. This ended up happening more times than I'd like to admit. We had the same issue over and over again, and died over and over again. until finally we did it. It turned out hesitation was the killer. If we just went straight for the exit, we could make it. We snuck round behind all of the guards, back the way we came, and we're back in the safety of our cell before they even knew we were gone. Perfect. Now it's time to escape. On my way back, I realised that we forgot the shovel, the one hanging up by the shed. Luckily, I realised that I had one in my pocket that the bandits had confiscated, so that was fine. We could use that to finish the tunnel. No prison can hold me. Not only had we freed ourselves, but the other captives as well. We also found a crossbow and some bolts, which I immediately quick-slotted. That'll probably come in handy later. We started exploring the surrounding area. Turns out we were in a swamp of some kind. Well, it looks safe enough, and there's some nice plants that we could pick too. But it wasn't long until disaster struck. A crocodile ambushed us from the murky depths, and we had to use our new equipment and our friend's kung fu skills to hold it at bay. The crocodile was much faster than I thought, and could attack on the same turn. And half health to me in one hit. This is not going to be an easy fight. We quickly developed a new strategy, using the kung fu pushback skills of our new companion, along with the crossbow, to keep the enemy at bay and still deal damage. We wanted to waste as many action points as we could, so that it would spend more time moving towards us than it would attacking us. This worked well, but it was still getting hits in. Our friend was very low health, only 2 hit points left. We pushed it back again, shot it more, and it closed in one more time. It went for me this time. Perfect, I've got so much health anyway. One more pushback, and we shoot it some more. It closed the distance one final time, and attacked twice. It was do or die now. We used all of our melee skills, and got to work with the knife. If we didn't kill it this round, we were surely dead. With the last attack we had available that round, we finished it off. By the skin of our teeth, we'd won. We collected the spoils of our fight and rested up. We needed all the health we could get. It wasn't long until another crocodile found us though, and we had to do the fight all over again. But we'd won once, so another time shouldn't be too hard, right? In our arrogance, we tried to save Bolt by fighting it in melee only. This is when it whipped out a new move. It turns out keeping it from using all its action points was actually a very, very good idea, because it prevented it from using its death roll. So, we switched back to the old strategy. Keep it as far away as possible and shoot it. But would it be enough, seeing as we'd already taken so much damage? Our friend had died, and all we had was our knife now. Game over. This was the beginning of a string of crocodile-related deaths. Until finally, we got our technique down. An opening sneak attack with the crossbow, followed by a hail of bolts in the following turn. Our friend gets into position and uses his kung fu skills to try and dodge as much as he can. Fail miserably, get death rolled. Show your knife what the enemy's kidneys look like. Show your fists what the enemy's face looks like. Kick the enemy really far away, dodge the enemy this time, and stab them some more. Punch them some more, and kick them away. Finish it up by getting bit and finishing the enemy off. Finally, the swamp was clear. Our friends were freed from the prison, and we'd finally earned our freedom. But there's one other thing I'd like before I leave this place, and that's vengeance. So I'm going back into that camp, and I'm not leaving until every last one of them is dead.